Psychological pain is one of the things that affects every single person on this planet. And a lot of the things I say is it's not what happens to you, but how you deal with it and how you get through things that really truly matters. So the question is, how do you deal with psychological pain? Well, I've had my fair share, so I'm going to talk about what worked for me today, and maybe it can help you. Let's watch this video. I really have no clue how people can deal with psychological pain. It scared me how easily it would fall into alcohol or drug addiction, or even suicidal plans if something bad happened to me. My cat died a few weeks ago, and when I found out, I was still in shock. And my first and most urgent thought was, I need to take some sleep pills so I can fall asleep and stop feeling this pain. I can't imagine what will happen when stuff gets harder, like the loss of a parent or sibling. I could not be able to cope with a single second of that pain, and I would immediately seek anything that makes me forget or fall asleep or stop feeling it. And I guess that's how some people get into addictions, but it scares me that I really can't understand them. Okay, so boom. You're worried that you cannot deal with immense psychological pain when it comes to traumatic life moments. And honestly, I wish I had an answer for you. I wish I had some life hacks for you to help make the pain subside faster. Or I wish I had something for you that made it easier to deal with. And I'm sorry, but there is just absolutely no way. There's just no way. Nothing has been invented. There's nothing we can do to fix pain, right? The only thing that we can do is that the only thing that I can do to comfort you, to tell you, is that time heals all wounds. And what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. People who have dealt with a lot of psychological pain may look stronger to you, like they may have some secret to dealing with it, but in fact there isn't one. They've just dealt with pain so many times that they know how it goes at this point. You know, pain is just like anything. You got to get used to it if there's a lot of it in your life. You know, one day you don't know how to tie your shoes. A year later, you know how to tie your shoes just because you've encountered so many situations where you had to tie your shoes so many times. People who dealt with a lot of psychological pain may look strong, but that's only because they know how the rodeo goes. They've experienced this or been in contact with it so many times. You know, when you deal with psychological or mental pain, you have to let yourself fully grieve, and you need to fully take a step back. I made a video on taking a step back. Click the card in the upper right if you want to see that video. And I talk about when you deal with very traumatic life experiences that nobody expects you to fully ignore. You know, when you deal with very traumatic life experiences that nobody expects you to fully ignore, and you should carry forward, and that's not healthy at all. Emotion has to be expressed and put into something, and if you don't put it into something, it will blow eventually. You know, the same people who tell you to just deal with it, or just do it, or just get over it, you know, trust and believe that they have their own coping mechanisms. Some are healthy and some are not. Take a look at that video if you want to hear more on the subject of taking a step back. You know, 2020 has probably been one of the worst years for me since, like my emo fuck the world phase in high school. And honestly, I couldn't do anything about it. I couldn't do anything but cry and grieve and be sad unapologetically. I fully took a step back. Now, maybe I just took a step back a little bit too far, maybe. You know, I cut everybody off and I just went ghost for a couple of months. And I don't recommend that, but the severity of my situation was a lot to me, and honestly, I feel better that I took that step back. If I didn't, I don't know what mental state I would be in. I don't know how I would be right now. You know, it's important to take your time to deal with pain. Fully accept it. Realize your truth. If a family member passes, cry your heart out for months. Reminisce on the memories with them and fully accept that they are gone. If you went through a bad heartbreak, fully cry. Think about the happy times in a relationship. Think about the bad times. and think about the lessons you've learned and just keep moving forward with everything you've got. We can only expect to grow once the pressure is on us. A coal doesn't turn into a diamond by just existing. Pressure needs to be applied. Look at the quote-unquote bad things in your life that happen to you as just lessons that put you on the next plane of your existence. As human beings, we exist. I fully believe that in every human being, our life structure, our life story tale, as you may say, is really just to climb to that next level of existence within us. We're never supposed to regress. We're never supposed to go back. And if we regress or take a step back for a second, it's all going to aid our story in the end. There might be somebody who dealt with a lot of psychological pain or dealt with a lot of traumatic experiences in their life, but all in all, those lessons and those stories and those experiences that they've been through makes them into somebody different tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's for better or for worse. Hopefully it's for better. And we just have to keep continually climbing that our existence ladder. And we climb and climb and climb. We climb to that ladder till we reach the afterlife. So when you experience pain, don't run from it. Don't hide from it. Don't take sleeping pills. Don't indulge in addictive activities to try to hide it, because another thing I also talk about in my videos is sweeping things under the rug. When you sweep your problems, or you sweep your angers, or you sweep things that are not fair to you underneath the rug, which means you don't really deal with it, you just kind of put it off. It just, at any moment, somebody could pick up the rug and pull it from underneath your feet, and all your shit comes falling out. It's not really good to deal with, bad things in your life in an addictive way. I could tell you firsthand on that. When I used to deal with just a lot of bullying and stuff like that, I would overeat, and I would eat just for that dopamine rush and just to feel good in that moment. But it didn't really help me. I just got fat, and then I felt even worse when I got fatter. You know what I'm saying? So definitely addictive things are not the way to go. It's very important to embrace the journey that you're on and embrace the psychological pain and deal with it. The more that you embrace it, the more that you just get through it. Sorry, not get through it. Get through it is a wrong way to say it. The more that you embrace it, and the more that you just take it for what it is, and you don't try to rush time. Every second of every day, you breathe in that pain. Every second of every day, you acknowledge that pain. You think about that pain. Before you know it, you're gonna be like, "Hey, pain, I beat you," and I learned a lot of things from you. And I learned some things that's going to take me into my next plane of existence in this life. It really helps me in the long run. So, when it comes to pain, fully grieve, fully cry, fully just allow yourself to feel. We are humans. We feel things emotionally. We have that capacity that a lot of other species don't have. Allow yourself to feel that. Take it and let it transform you onto the next step of your life.